tired. Excellent. I think my arm's gonna fall off, honestly. This is like the third or fourth big canvas in a row this week. Goodness gracious. So if you guys are listening to the hot microphone right now, I am just getting prepped. Oh my God, my arm's gonna fall off, firstly, so I'm switching arms. And then I'm prepping an enormous canvas again, a 24 by 30 inch. This time we're doing it horizontally. And we're going to be making our golden eye, which is hopefully going to come out amazing. I haven't done it yet, clearly. We're about to do it right here. But it should be fun. So, as we're getting ready to hit the splash page, you guys should be checking in and letting us know where you're watching from in the night. Right? Right now. Me, best. My arm, I mean. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome in. I was just taking a brief nap after applying all this liquid clear all over the canvas. It takes a lot of force. So this is what the BobRoss liquid clear looks like. You can also use the Grumbacher's liquid clear or just linseed oil. If you're going to use linseed oil, make sure you're using a very, very, very small amount and spreading it very thinly. I've found out that linseed oil is very wet in comparison to the liquid clear that we like to use, or vice versa. The liquid clear is very thick in comparison to the wet linseed oil. So you guys check in out there. Let us know where you're watching from in the night. I had so many requests last night, and so everyone said they were so excited to see what the big new wave is going to look like in golden color. Were that stars on Facebook? Thank you for the stars from the Facebook. If they were, I heard a strange noise. So thank you for that. Now we've taken our 24 by 30 inch canvas, like I said, landscape oriented. So it's very wide and not so much tall, right? We need to use our Indian yellow or India yellow from the Gamblin 1980 brand, Madder Carmine from the Meaden brand, and our dioxazine purple. And then we'll have a little bit of our, what's it, raw umber, Van Dyke brown, the darker of the two browns, okay? So I'm going to take the same brush that I applied all my liquid clear with, and we're going to go with our India yellow first. Now I know that in this scene, in the new PaintWithJosh wave, the eye is above the horizon, right? So I'm going to take halfway between the top of my canvas and the bottom of my canvas and just imaginarily, for right now, put a little line right there in my imagination, and then come up here slightly above it and slightly below it with a little patch of my India yellow, right? Plop it on there and then let it extend, because we're going to shrink it with a little bit of crimson around each side, so it'll be multicolored in there. Should look really cool. And we'll take a little bit more of our India yellow. We know our moonlight doesn't have to be just center in our canvas, maybe right of center a little bit. And we're going to push that India yellow around. Right now, the cool part about this color is it makes the most amazing, like, golden shiny sand. If we put it down underneath the eye, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to be pretty low on this one. This wave takes up a lot of room, and so you have much less room for land at the bottom, right? And some of the times we can paint it without even having any land at all. So, just like we normally do, leaving a space in between, we'll have all this golden yellow sandy beach. And remember, we want the yellow to go down further in the sand than you think you need, because we're going to be taking our, actually, we're not even going to be using the brown. We're going to be using our purple at the bottom. And when the purple and the gold interact, they turn into this gorgeous brown. So we need to have our yellow come down a little bit further than we think we need. All right, spreading it across our 30-inch canvas. My arm is already tired. Okay, fantastic. So splotch, splotch, big old patch. Now we're going to go into our crimson color. Actually, let's make the color up here, this spot, a bit bigger, a bit more crazily enormous. And that way we'll allow our crimson to also mix down into that guy. Right? We don't just want patches or just circles and then a band of color and then a stripe up here. We want it to all blend together. And that means we need to put enough yellow out there that we're allowing the crimson to change some of that yellow into orange as it gets closer and closer into the center. So we're going to grab our Meeden brand, Madder Carmine, one of my most favoritists of brands. Sorry, what's up? Ooh, where are we at? Look at how far you have come. I have one of your very first pieces. That's crazy. That's awesome. What's up? Yeah, what does it look like? Does it have a number on it, firstly? Because I only started numbering them at number 500. So does it have a number? And if not, can you describe it to me? We're going to take our crimson or madder carmine color from the Meeden brand, put it around the outside of that yellow patch, and then start to blend it in. Right, so we're initially dropping off all the heavy paint. And so once we get up here and we get less paint on our brush, then we can start blending it towards that yellowy patch and not have it cover too much of it, right? And get too strong, because we're not going straight into the yellow with all that crimson. Now remember, we want to leave some space for our purple as well, so we don't need everything. That's awesome. That's wicked cool. Yeah, we've done, this is going to be painting number 2,300. Oh, that's wicked cool. I like that. Cactus with waterfalls. If you could take a picture of it and send it to us on Facebook or through the website or something, that would be great. I would love to see what it looks like. And remember, I'll be able to pick it out instantly, but just remember what it looked like from back then, before we even started numbering paintings. I wonder what it looks like. That's cool. So we're taking a little bit of our crimson again, dragging it and allowing it to blend into that yellow patch. I don't need the yellow patch to just be all yellow, right? We want it to mix and become yellowy orange as we go. Now we can throw a little bit of that down here as well and allow it to mix into our sand, again creating a yellowy orangish color. Meaning if I push hard enough on that paint and allow it to blend down, right? And then get my lighter pressure as I get lower into the yellow. Then I'll drop off less of that red and you'll have more of a blend that way, right? Oh, that's gonna look so cool. That's gonna look cool. Now, everywhere else, we're going to go right onto the brush, right? Because we've got all that crimson-y red on there. We're gonna go right into our purple. That's why we have all three of these colors over here, because we use all three of them all the time, right? Actually, I wanna throw a little crimson just right in there too. Just bang, just, I don't know, right underneath our waves somewhere, I don't know. Who cares? As long as there's a little bit of color, we'll be all right. So everywhere else that there isn't color is where we're going to want to put our purple. Now, when I drag this purple up into that kind of yellowy color and then go across it with my white and watch those things change, oh, it's gonna be so stinking neat. Same thing, I wanna kind of blend it down over to where the yellow gets darker, but doesn't disappear completely, okay? Now, everywhere else, you kind of got to heavily lay on that purple and then again, push it with a lot of force. I don't want to be able to see stripes of purple, stripes of crimson, and a little circle of, you know, orangey yellow. I don't want to see that. I want to be able to push on this stuff and drag it in and mix it, right? So there is not just pure definition of, oh, there's where the purple was, that's where the crimson was, and that's where the yellow was. No, we want it to mix together, right? Now, the more purple and more crimson-y stuff it gets on here is going to be more fantastically beautiful. And I'm going to put our purple down at the bottom and then start to mix it up into the yellow and get less and less and less pressure once I hit that yellow line. But we still have to go across it and let it mix in. Oh, that's going to be so stinking pretty, you guys. Okay. What were you laughing at? Oh, I thought maybe somebody said something funny. Nobody said anything funny. We don't have any funny fans. Oh, my goodness. I thought we had funnier fans than that. So now that we've got all this undercolor on there, right? And normally I would skip this whole section. I would do it before the painting, before the show even started. And we would just instantly bang right into the white and get going, right? But I had so many people ask me, how do you do the beginning, right? So we started doing these quote unquote, literally every single step videos, in which case we show you every single step. What's up? Oh. Yeah, this is our television screen. Don't worry, we're about to see something, like we're about to tune in and click something into view, right? The TV screen's warming up right now. Just give me a minute and we're gonna get some color on there just right this second, okay? So we're gonna take our titanium white, we're gonna wiggle down just a little bit. Remember, we want the aura around the moon to be less paint. So we're gonna take that small amount of paint. Let's come up here and just ignite a space. Oh, wow. Look at that color. Seriously. Like, how can it not be fun when every time that we do it, it comes out different, right? That's the fun part. Push on this guy a little bit harder. Let it mix around, right? I'm going around in a circle. I'm making counterclockwise circles, but going around in a clockwise circle, right? Which, you know, it sounds like my brain doesn't work like everyone else's, but that's how we do it, right? Now, if you can mix it to a very soft, goldeny, brownish, yellowy color, then we're going to take a very small little filbert brush, and we're going to come over here, we're going to swipe down on the paint just on the one side of the brush. We don't need the paint across the whole thing, and you don't need too much. It's a very small brush. I mean, even compared to my pinky, it's small, right? We're going to come out into the center of that bright area, push flat against it, make a little high five, like we're bending the bristles so they're literally flat against the canvas. Then we're going to spin to the left and keep that brush right in the center so it fans out and creates a gorgeous little moon. Pop right out there into the night. So you guys, again, check in right now. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm going to look at the camera before we do our next set of clouds, right? And I don't even need to wash off the cloudy brush from that orangish beautifulness that's on there. So you guys check in. Where are we watching from out there? And I'll look at the comments, I swear. Wow, that color, exactly. Did you add water over on Facebook? No, we use a liquid clear or linseed base coat and put our India yellow and our crimson and all that, and then we activate all those deep, dark, transparent colors, which look black, right? They look like there's nothing on the canvas, and then we activate those with white. We are using oil paints. Thank you very much. What type of palette are you using? Love your painting. This is actually the PaintWithJosh palette, my own palette, which you can grab on my website or through the PaintWithJosh app by searching palettes, right? I have small ones, and then I have the big ones, right? I have the big ones in black and in clear, and then the small ones in black and in clear. So we got people watching from California, Jamaica, Ohio, Virginia, Illinois, Philadelphia, Kansas over there, the Philippines, Michigan, Clinton, Utah, California, Buffalo, New York, Iowa, Oklahoma, New York over here. We got people watching from the same places on all different platforms. California, Puerto Rico, Maryland, Antigua, the Netherlands, Warren, Connecticut, the UK, Australia, let's see, Arkansas, Nigeria, Canada, Europe, the Netherlands, Qatar, North Carolina, Germany, Maine, Bahrain. See, I'm telling you, literally all over the world. Scotland, Massachusetts, over there, Colorado, Arizona, Quebec, Ireland, literally Morocco, all over the world. PaintWithJosh has followers, you guys, I'm telling you. Now we're going to get a little bit more white this time than we did last time, okay? And we don't want to get too low on our crashing wave. We're going to have lots of stuff up here, right? So actually, let's make two little clouds. We're going to go first one right up here. Bang. You can get as close as you can to this little thing without really touching, right? Going to go from a lower, flatter area and climb up. And as we climb up, we dump off a little bit more paint off the back just by pushing harder on the brush. Look at that color. Yes, that is gorgeous. Right now, the color is up here randomly. So if I come up here and I start making my little counterclockwise circles, kind of imagine like you're stirring up some chocolate milk, right? Except we're at the carnival, right? And the game is we got to stir up our chocolate milk without spilling it out of the glass, meaning we can't do big, giant stirs. But the game is that our cup is moving. It's not, oh my God, look at the colors, you guys. Whoever gets this one is, I don't know, I'm going to be jealous of you because you have it. And if nobody that looks like literal flames in the sky. Oh, fabulous, right? So the more we mix, the more it all becomes the same. And remember, you can get this painting. It is available. It's on the front page of my website and on the Paint with Josh app, which you can find on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Stores for free. So let's get over here, a little bit more paint, drop a little bit lower, come up and cut through or almost touch. And if you do, make sure it's brighter right there, right? So plop in more paint. Get this guy to wrap around. Drop off more along the back, right? That way there will be more to blend away, right? If we don't put enough up there, there won't be enough to blend away. And it has to grow, right? It has to extend. We don't have to put all the paint up there at once because we know that when we come down here and we start to grip it and pull on it, it's going to grow. It's going to move, right? We'll come down here. We'll take this color. We'll move it over here. We'll flatten off the bottom, right? Just by making our stirs, kind of dragging it this way. Pull this paint over here. Maybe come grab it up at the top. Work it up. Work it down. We'll come back over here. Back to the center. Back out. Getting some of the center paint, right? Dragging it back out. And making it so that it is different, right? There's not one spot that is mixed the same. And that's how you get those shadows and differences and stuff in those things, right? The more that I pull this way, the more color will come with it. I just got to use enough pressure to get it to flatten out, right? Now remember, we don't need color all the way to the edges, and especially on a black canvas. We're trying not to cover up too much, right? Now, let's switch over. Actually, let's take a commercial break. We're probably late for one. So, okay, are we good? Okay, so we'll take a commercial break, and they're just a little Paint with Josh commercial to tell you about the app or about our candles or about other stuff. So hang out for like 30 seconds, and we'll be right back after these words. What's wrong, dude? I'm trying to book my Paint with Josh class. Oh, that's simple. He's got an app. What do you mean he has an app? You didn't know? Everybody has an app, you dummy. It's gonna be way better. Where's my phone? Dude, are you for real? Everything's on an app now. Show me how this works. Show me now. Show me now. I'll show you how it works. Let me get my phone. Hang on. Dude, booking the classes is easy. I use my Paint with Josh app to get notified when the show goes live. And then if I wanted to purchase the paintings doing live on the show, I'm going to tap the menu button, click buy the live painting, and boom, it will appear. All I have to do is add it to my cart, and here we go. Dude, this is like way easier, and I love that it notifies me before the show starts, because half the time TikTok doesn't even do that. It tells me after he's already finished. Bro, same, I feel that. I always get the notification at like 6:20, and he's already done by then. Yeah, no, thanks, dude. I'm gonna book my acrylic class right now. Yeah, thanks, dude, bro. Like, totally, bro. I'm gonna go book that class right now, bro. I'm gonna take a little more white and just get it a little bit further underneath there. Maybe take this guy and extend him a little bit more, right? Just a little closer. And the more that we get out to the edge, the more we're mixing in with those darker colors, like that crimson and that purple, right? And so the more we mix them together, the more you get those cool little blends to happen. So you need to take some of the dark color and work it back towards the yellow, right? All up to us. Every time. Remember, the one that's behind the eye of the wave doesn't have to be too noticeable. I just wanted something back there. There. Literally. The more I mix it, the more it's going to mix away and become darker. Wow. Okay. Now we're going to switch to our palette tool. Okay. If you've never used one of these, that's okay. I would suggest getting one that looks like this, right? It's got the long side, we got our point, and then we have a little short side. That way you can use the short side very flatly or use the long side very flat. But that's all we're really going to do is keep this guy sort of flat, except for this big, enormous, eye of our wave that we're going to go launching up into the sky and then back down into our water. We're not going to worry about that, right? Just like that, almost coming up and hitting those clouds, right? It's all going to be up to you, but imagine it like a big S shape, right? So here we go. Let's take our titanium white, going to pull it down because all of our colors are already here. They're already on the canvas, okay? So I'm going to scrape up a little amount. I'm going to keep the blade very flat like a table, right? Or at least tipped slightly down. If I come and touch it with the handle very close to the canvas, I'm going to drop off all the paint at once, and I don't want to do that. So let's start down here, right? We're going to start, oh, there it is. Gonna roll up, gonna roll over, and then flatten off again, right? That's literally, oh, that's gonna be so gorgeous. Oh, I can't even wait. It's gonna be fabulous. Okay, now, off the back side of our little waves, right? It's gonna slide down over here, and all you can see is this big S shape that's kind of flattened, stretched out anyway. So then we have to decide where our horizon is in the back. We have to have some, right? So let's put it real low right here. I'm gonna touch, scrape across, boom, 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 right? Doesn't even need to go much further than that. All we really need to do now is scrape side to side, little things, pushing more and more on our blade, right? We don't want them to all be so bright. And the more that I push on it, the more it mixes with the color underneath. So we'll get those purples and pinks and little differences. Now, all I want to leave is a very slight, very small little separation of darker color, right? Because we're going to have white and white, mainly, right? We got our white and white. This is going to be so perfect, too, because we'll be able to come back directly underneath our moon and pop in a bit brighter area that will lead to a smaller area as it leads towards the front of the wave. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. Oh, I can't even wait. Seriously, guys. Now remember, leave that separation in between this line and that scratchy area back there. Now remember, it doesn't even all have to be the same. Doesn't even all have to fill in or be as bright or whatever. And it can't physically be as bright everywhere because we have to have a bright space here. You know what I mean? For our moon. Oh, God. Good knit. Hello, was that what was that? Was that, this was this painting? Who got this? Who are you? Oh, it's a new person. And it's through the Paint with Josh app. See, you got to get the Paint with Josh app, I'm telling you. So if you grab this one, come tell us in the comments that it was you. And if your name doesn't match as far as like a screen name or whatever, we'll have to do a little confirming. But, oh, this is going to be so gorgeous, right? Now, let's imagine the last, sorry? The last two, is it? Yeah, the last 2 digits of your zip is going to be how we always confirm who it is, right? So if your name doesn't match what's on the order, then telling us those last 2 will help expedite this process, right? So we want to have our flat horizon, but I don't want it to go through the front of the wave. I get way the heck over here, and then boom, right? I can start scraping off little things off of this side. We don't see a lot of this side of the wave, right? It's like that. And in normal Paint with Josh waves, we would see more backwater area on the right than we would see on the left, right? But in this one, it's more on the left, right? Change up the whole smash. Now remember, oh, where is that one? Oh, it's on the wall over there. I'm gonna have to go get it in our next commercial. I did a daytime version of this scene, which is also available, right? If you wanted to grab it, it's the second thing that's on my website over there, or the app. It's the second painting down below this one, which is going to be the daytime version, which is on white canvas. And I'm really excited to show you guys how we did it, especially having that dark area come up into our sky. It was very scary, but we did it. Excuse me. So now I'm going to come in here and scrape just a little touch. Did we find out who is the, okay. Scrape a little touch over here. And I want to come up right on to the, not the very top, not the very center, but just over a little. And I want to touch it very lightly and deposit a bit of paint, right? Like we do with our tree trunks. Tree trunk, tree trunk, tree trunk, tree trunk, tree trunk. We're just tapping against the canvas so that it's leaving a little ribbon of paint up there. And then when we come back to kind of shape what that ribbon looks like, there'll be enough paint up there that we won't even have to have any on our blade, right? And that's the purpose of this. We're tapping onto it just like we do with our tree bark. So we're making a little ridge of paint that's heavier in those places than it is anywhere else, right? And then before we go do anything, we want to pop our eye of our wave in, okay? So we'll wipe off our fan brush. We'll go back over here. And after that second, after our second commercial break is when I'm going to show you exactly what that daytime scene looks like. Now, we're going to be catching the eye and the light, right? It's going to get under here. It's going to get very close up to the top. And we don't need the shape to be initially too big, right? Because we know it's going to grow. And the more that we mix this guy, the more that it extends down, the more dark it gets. You know, it's mixing with that darker purple that was underneath there as well. It's So it's turning into this darker, more goldeny brown. Oh my word. Look at it, right? Now I want to switch to a clean 1-inch brush just because I don't want to change too much of that. And by massaging it with my bigger brush that has more color on it, it's going to make it darker, right? So you can almost just kind of sweep it right up under the rug. Sweep it up under the rug and don't let anyone find out. No, I'm just kidding. Don't let the light color touch the other light color, right? Then we're going to come back in just because I want it to be vibrant. I'm going to put a little bit more white just by dabbing in right here. The more white that we put right, the more fabulous it's going to be. Come back up here, mix it down very lightly again because I want it to be different. I don't want it to mix so much that it all turns into the same color again, right? That's not going to be good for anybody. And I don't need the eye to be too big. Yes, ma'am? Sorry? Who is the one that grabbed this one? Did they say? Let's figure it out. Oh, I would imagine they would be watching. Maybe not. Like I said, maybe they just weren't here when we asked them to identify themselves. If you grab this painting during the live show and you just bought this one, right, then let us know. And why is everyone on Facebook typing in? Right. Right. The only reason that we want the last 2 of your zip code, guys, is if you purchase this painting so we can confirm it's you. If you guys all type in the last 2 of your zip code, it kind of takes away the you know, like why we're the purpose of asking, right? So we'll figure it out. If the person that grabbed this painting wants to get it or, you know, come and let us know, then they'll reach out. Oh, we just got an email. We just got an email from the purchaser. So we'll figure it out. In any case, let's take our palette knives, right? We're going to wipe it off so there's nothing else on here. And now that we have our eye of our wave, we're going to very lightly touch on to the paint that's up there and try to very, very small and very lightly pull it down and down and down, right? We're just kind of gripping it with the back half of the blade so that we're not creating too much. We're changing the angle over here. See what I mean? All these things are up to you guys, how you want them to look. But it's all about changing those angles, and it's following the line here. You see how the handle changes position as it's here and here and here, right? That is determining what our water looks like. Is where our handle is and the direction that we're pulling those little swipey swipers, right? And we don't need them to get too big, because if they get too big, then they're going to come down and crash too close, and we won't have enough room, right? So let's go back to our liquid white. Dip into our liquid white over here, right? And then we're going to get into our titanium white. I'm not sure that I have enough liquid white to... There we go. I found a spot that had enough. So we'll mix our liquid white and our titanium white together on that same fan brush we were using before. We're going to hold it like a plate over to the side, right? So the brush is very flat. And then we're going to tilt it towards the canvas, just a little bit, right? Tilting it in so that way, the more that we touch on this, we can touch a very small amount if we're just tapping it very lightly, or without moving the brush, right? Just touching it harder, letting it hit the canvas harder, we're creating a bigger shape. And then we'll come up here. Now we're letting it hit almost full blast, right? Same thing. You can only see we've only touched half of the brush because we're just hitting that same corner over and over. So now if I flip my brush over, I'm going to have nice fresh white paint on this side. But again, we're hitting that same corner over and over and over again, and it doesn't even need to go all the way to the side. Oh, it's gorgeous. Fabulous. Literally, random little splotches of color and differences out there, right? So, let's just see. Yes! Maybe he's not even watching. Did you read the email? Okay. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. And get in here very, very lightly. So soft. So genteel, right? That you're not really brushing the paint too much. And therefore, it's not really blending away too much because we're just barely flicking it, right? Just barely even touching the paint. So it almost doesn't even move. That's the whole goal of it, right? So why don't we come up, we'll do this one more little time, and then we'll take our little commercial break. All right, we'll come in here, smack it, smush it, push it, hit it, blotch it on there. kind of randomly, much more randomly than we did it the first time, right? And then when we come back to mix it, we're going to mix it even more randomly than we did the first time again. So some areas we might even miss. Didn't even barely touch that spot. All right, come up here, over there, boom, done, literally. Don't even care. Because we're gonna mix through it, we're gonna spray over it, we're gonna do all sorts of stuff so it doesn't have to look perfect right now, right? So why don't we hang out through this quick commercial break. Oh, no worries. No worries, yeah. And let's mix up, in any case, I need to get out a little bit of my liquid white. So let's get out some more liquid white onto the little Petri dish. And this is what I talk about when I'm saying Petri dish. It's just a lid of an old liquid white jar. So when you throw away your old jar, keep the lid, and then you can use it to deposit fresh paint in, and then go into that with a dirty brush, right? Like I don't want to take my brand new jar of liquid white, that is very full, by the way, and dip a dirty brush into it. That's going to taint my whole jar, right? And then I'm not going to be able to have a clean canvas anymore. And so I kind of dip in with my palette tool a couple times, wipe it off over here, and we kind of deposit it in the lid of the old liquid white jar. That way I can put my new lid on my new liquid white jar and keep it all sealed. But now you got this little kind of a Petri dish, right? And it eventually ends up looking like something's growing inside of it, for sure. So, we good for the, oh yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. Right. Hi, it's Paint with Josh back in the studio. Did you know that along with oil painting classes, we also now do acrylic painting classes? Oh, it's going to be fantastic. You can either come right down here into the studio and I supply all the supplies. You leave with a really cool painting, or we can link up via virtual class and do a video call like Zoom. It's going to be fantastic, and you're going to end up with something like this. All you have to do to book one of these Paint with Josh acrylic classes is either go to the Paint with Josh app or go to the site, find the acrylic class, book your day and your time, and we're going to have a great time. Now, let's get back up to the show and see what we've been doing up there. Let's see what we've been doing up there. We've been doing nothing. This one is coming out absolutely stellarly fantastic. Now, I'm going to get a little bit more of that liquid white with my palette tool. See if I can show you why they call it liquid white. Oh, there it goes. Bloop. Dripping, 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 right? Our titanium white would never do that. It's just too thick. So one is too thin and one is too thick, and that means we need to mix them both together, right? And then, just like Goldilocks, it should be just right if we mix it together. So we'll take our 50-50 mix of our titanium white and our liquid white mixture. We're going to basically draw a straight line from that spot through the eye, through the crash, boom, right up here. That tells us that that and that should be pretty level across. And so we start up here and we start scraping. Now watch the angle of the blade. It's kind of facing out towards you guys. Okay, and then the more that I go, the more the angle has to dip. I got to come up here and I got to push a little harder. Now I'm not making giant Z shapes. I'm not doing anything largely with the knife, right? They're very, very close, like vibrating is how close we are, right? We're just shaking so closely together that the paint continues to fall out. Then I know I need to go get a little bit more, right? Again, I'm going to start out with the handle out that way until it starts disappearing, right? So then I have to push down a little bit and further and further and further to continue dropping off the paint. So the blade starts here, or the handle anyway, starts kind of out here, and then it gets closer and closer to the canvas as you go down, right? So we're making our first line into the back, and remember, doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be anything. It's just a bit of seafoam mess, okay? We're gonna start up here again. Same thing, watch the handle, right? Very small little connections, and then the handle gets lower and lower and lower. We're dropping off more and more and more paint and pushing harder as we go so that we're forcing the paint to jiggle its way and come out the front onto our little lip right here, right? Then all this stuff in the background makes no difference. It's supposed to just be there. It's just a mess, right? Doesn't really matter what it looks like, how much is there, if there's any spaces in between or whatever, right? Same thing, the more times we do this and scrape down and get further and further and further away from the lip or the crashing wave back there, right? Because the wave has to have some amount of water to crash onto. It can't just come out and just crash onto the very front. That's not going to happen, right? So we've got to put on enough, wiggle enough down, leaving enough paint behind this front edge, which again doesn't even have to be perfect, right? Nothing out there says that the edge has to be a straight line or anything. That thing did a flip and came out and landed on the doorstop over there, getting a little bit further away, creating more smush, right? It's literally just mushing it on. It down over here, over there, over there. Bang. Literally, don't even have to finish it, honestly, because I'm going to show you. It's just going to get filled up. The more that we even have the same paint, you take over here and just kind of dragging it from one side to the next side. Boom, boom, boom. Doesn't even all have to be all the way filled in. Seriously. That's going to be so neat. So neat, you guys. Now, what we're going to do is one of two things, okay? You can either do it with your palette tool, like I was doing, which is much more for the experienced palette tool operator, right? So like if you've got some experience, you feel confident with the palette tool, we're going to be using it backwards in comparison to how you would normally use it. So you need that confidence, okay? If not, and you're like, ooh, I don't really like that tool. It doesn't really play nicely with me when I'm doing things with it, right? Then you're going to want to use your fan brush. And so wipe off your fan brush very vigorously onto paper towel. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean, right? Anytime you can really scrub it on a paper towel, you're taking off like 98% of the color, right? That's all. You don't need it to be fresh and done every time. Like how many times have we cleaned a brush in this whole painting so far? Not many. Maybe once. Oh, there we go, right? So with our fan brush, we didn't really talk about it back here, about how all of these directional swipes are at clock. They're at second hands on a clock, right? Each one of them is moving, and some of them over here are like this, some of them here, right? They're changing, becoming, more steep here and more flat over there. So we're doing the same thing here, except out here we're more flat, right? We're keeping this side flat, and then the two steep areas together, right? So if we're out here, we need to be pulling flat to the side, right? To the side, to the side, to the side. Doesn't even look like I've touched it so far, right? But the more you do, and then you start rolling it up, and rolling and rolling and rolling, keep them waves a-rolling. Paint with Josh, we're rolling, and yeah, we're painting some sky. I don't know, I'm just coming up with it off the top of my head. So, but the more you come in here, the more severely that you're rotating, right? And then it becomes almost like a waffle cone where it's very tightly connected in there. And then the more you get out here, the wider everything gets, right? So I'm going to show you the same things, but I'm going to use a palette tool because I've done it 1,000 times, right? I know that how much paint to put on there, how much to push the paint, the pressure, the practice, because I've done it so many times. But we're doing the same thing, right? We're taking the paint, we're allowing it to slide horizontally, right? Over here, over there, there, wherever, dropping off little things where they need to be. And then we're going to start rolling it up, right? And allowing the color to interact with the purple paint that's in there, the yellow, the crimson, all the stuff that's underneath, right? And I'm not trying to cover everything. That's the difference between you and me, right? You're putting it on there and going, ooh, look at all that color. It's gorgeous. I want more and more. We're going to cover up more. But you can't do that. You don't want to cover up every piece. You don't want to have every piece of the wave disappear, right? So like I said, these guys are very much like big, giant circles all the way around. And then as we get in and we get tighter and tighter and tighter, they get more and more and more close, right? More severely rounded. And then you got to look back, right? You got to look back every so often and go, okay, that's bright enough there. Let me move in, get smaller, 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 right?
Never heard this.
What's up?
If BobRoss and Roseanne's stepson had a baby, like him.
Roseanne's stepson? Who does Roseanne's stepson? Like I can't even like picture or hear the voice in my head. Like I can hear John Candy's voice. I can picture that. Not, I don't sound like him, but like at least that's a voice I can picture. I don't remember Roseanne's stepson, but thank you for the comparison. I very much appreciate it. Right, now these guys, they're very tight on the inside, right? If you have anything that's rolling up, you can have it roll up, but look at how far I'm gonna turn because I'm using the edge of the blade, and then we gotta rotate over, right? That's a hard thing to do because all these things are happening at a different rate of speed. I was telling that to our student earlier today. All right. Each one of these is rotating like you would open up your hand, right? So out here, they're very flat, and then we're starting to get a little bit more, a little more, a little more, a little more, until they're almost condensed into the interior, right? So we're taking our titanium white, if you're doing it with a palette tool, because I want it to be thicker. I want to leave little patches like that. You know what I mean? To where those patches can fatten out. The more I go across it, the more it'll mix in. Then you can tell. Can you not tell the difference right here between these ones that are out here on this angle, these ones that are almost straight vertical, and then by the time we get in here, we gotta have a very small amount and try to make it go over past, you know what I mean, our midnight, which is what we normally try to stick to when we're doing those guys. So, or like when we do our old wave, right? Get it in here, mix it, mix it, mix it, let it flow down, flow back, flow in, and flow up. That is absolutely stellar. Now remember, I don't want too many bright white areas underneath the shadowy part of that wave. They're supposed to be darker. That's why we put purple back there. And then we've got our crimsony, yellowy, orangish mix in front of that, so that not everywhere is going to look like it's catching the same light. We do that purposefully, right? Purposefully. And then you can get back in there and layer on as much as you want, honestly. But check out the angles, right? Very steep, very rounded in here. And then they flatten out just like the ticks of a clock. All the way out, right? We don't need it to be the same. We don't need it to be so bright. We don't have to do anything except one thing, right? Keep a little bit of dark color between this color and the eye of the wave. That's it, right? The water is invisible. It is clear, right? It is clear that a lot of you are not paying attention. No, I'm just kidding. The water is clear. So all we're doing is painting the stuff that floats on the top, right? There has to be stuff floating on the top of our black water. Otherwise, we would never see it, right? Go out and take a picture of the water at night and tell me if you can see any color. No, it looks black, right? So the water is clear. It's invisible. We don't need to really pay attention to it, right? All we're trying to do is not cover up every single piece. Because if we are, then we're going to lose the whole reason why we started painting on the black canvas to begin with, right? We're not trying to cover all of the black. Oh, my neck is starting to get sore. Woo! Okay. So let's just see over here. What we're going to be doing next is our sandy technique. So I would like for you guys to just check in. Let me know where you're watching from in the night. And then we're going to be coming up onto our, let's see. Dennis, you're awesome, dude. So let's see. We're going to be doing our sandy technique, and then we're going to be rocking and rolling. Boom, boom, boom. You guys should be checking in by now. No, it's okay. No worries. Give me a second. It gave me a second to look at the email and stuff, and then I was just telling everybody we're going to go to commercial here in a second, but we've got to do our sandy technique, and that usually takes a minute, so we might as well go to our commercial right now, and then when we come back, you guys let me know what you thought about that one, right? We have all different kinds of commercials, and so let me know your opinion on the one that you're about to see, and we'll be back right after these words.
Do you ever feel like you can just never find anything in your art supply stuff? Well, I've got something for you. This enormous Meeden rolling cart storage rolling thing. It's got locking wheels, 3 drawers, tons of room, a little brush cleaner over here. Plus you can do acrylic pour right on the center. It's really cool. I suggest you get one yourselves these. And if you use promo code right there on that side over there, you'll be able to grab one for yourself and thank me for it later, right? So let's get back to the show after I find this paint I'm looking for.
Yeah. So now we're going to be taking our liquid white, right? Our liquid white paint. We're going to dip it down right here. Hang on. Bloop. And a bloop. And we need to, again, make that 50-50 mix of our titanium white and our liquid white, right? So over here, over there, we need to make enough of it that we will be able to stretch the entire canvas, which is a big 30-inch canvas, right? And then over here, if you don't like those little spots, you can even use the paint that's already there to just cover them up however much we like. Now remember, we don't really care about what the lip looks like right now, because after we do this sandy thing, then we've got to go back and adjust that lip. So it doesn't have to look like anything crazy right now, okay? Now again, I don't want to take, I'm going to get a little roll of my paint, and I don't want that paint to just, like all of it, drop off on the first go. I want to be able to push harder and harder and harder as I get further away and drop off more paint, right? Not just allowing it all to come off in one go. Now we normally say that the only way that you can really mess this up is if you're allowing these two colors to touch, right? We have a very bright whitish color above, right? It's kind of whitish, pinkish, yellowish, right? And we're using a whitish paint, which is mixing to the same color, okay? Because we've got those colors laid down the way that we do under the canvas, right? So if we allow these two things to touch, don't you think it might be harder to tell what's going on, right? So keep a little separation in there, over here. We really only need 2 or 3 times to load the little blade enough, right? Pull it down. Maybe underneath my moon, we'll put a little excess or pull it down a little bit further, whatever. Doesn't really need to do anything, seriously. And it doesn't have to be the same across the whole thing. And here's the reason why. Because we're going to take our brush, we're going to dab it off real good on paper towel. It wasn't too dirty anyway. We're going to come underneath our moon over here, very vertically, pull it down, right? Take the elevator down to Sandtown. Now let me ask you, does this look like wet, sandy beach? Just yes or no. Type it out in the comments. If not, let me know what you think it looks like, right? Doesn't look like sand to you? Tell me what you think it looks like as we take the elevator to Sandtown. Down here. Oh man, it looks like Asgard to me, bro, right? What are we thinking? Waterfall, glacier, cliff, the walls of Asgard, maybe a golden curtain, right? What do you think? Type it in the comments while I pause for comments. Because we get all sorts of stuff, right? And we're going to come over here and we're going to start to pull this color and all of those vertical streaky poos and turn them into horizontal streaky poos. And the more that we do that, the more it's going to look like that shiny, wet, gorgeous sandy beach. Yeah, God, look at that. Dude, right? The more I mix it down, right? Now we're going to get into the purple area. Holy cow! I didn't even see what it looked like until I just literally looked back up right now. Right? So again, the more I push it, the more it's going to intermix. Now that we're down into the purple, right? Remember, we put purple down here. Getting some of that purple onto our brush. And the more that we go up into that yellow, now we're going to start to shrink that yellow back. That's not just the most amazing sand I've ever seen. Tell me in the comments now. What do you think? Wet sand or no? Right? That shiny. And if you can't see it just yet, we're going to take that last little line of fish pish. We're going to come out here to wherever we think it traps itself in and goes whoop. Maybe it drops down right there, right? Over here. Where does it continue to go in your mind? It doesn't have to be the same, right? And all we're doing is just wiggling our blade enough. What's up? Yeah, taking the elevator down to Sandtown. I don't know. I'm just making it up as we go. If if anyone ever takes me seriously, that's on you. He wants the title to be Elevator Down to Sandtown. Take the elevator down to the brown Sandtown. Okay, Sandtown. I was going to call it Goldeneye initially, but Golden Sandy Eye Town. I'm going to come over here. I need to mix up a little bit more of my liquid white and titanium white mix so we can get that 50-50 mix going again. All right. Oh, if this isn't the most prettiest thing you've ever seen. Yes. Golden brown Sandtown. Whatever we're calling this one. We're going to take our liquid white, titanium white mix and we're going to scrape down until we have a very small little separator underneath the white part of the wave, right? Doesn't have to be the same size across the entire thing. You don't really want to add a lot more paint because there's a lot of wet paint up there to begin with. And so we just keep adding paint. Eventually, it's going to become very, very, very wet, right? So some of the times you got to add a little bit to get it to move. Some of the times you can use the paint that's up there. And again, we're just shrinking it down by vibrating short enough, or at least short enough distance in between these horizontal drags to keep a lip of water out there. Now the lip looks better if you've got that dark separation underneath it. Now let's say you came down and accidentally touched the color to the sand and you're like, ugh, what am I going to do? Right? Sure, it is harder to go back and put it in, right? But as long as we don't do it everywhere, you're allowed to come down and touch the sand with your water, right? And you can have that dark separator disappear. You just don't want it to disappear throughout the whole thing. Because if we lose it throughout the whole thing, then you either have to put on so much white paint on the front lip that it literally casts a shadow onto the paint under the right conditions, right? Or you've got to go back and put that dark separator back in, and that is never a fun thing to do, right? It is much easier to just not cover it than it is to have to go back and put one in. So please don't cover it. That's fabulous, right? And it depends on me. Do I feel like it's a little bit too big right there? Sure. Let me come back and just bring it down a little, just a little bit, right? Now maybe that far right bit needs to come down a little bit more. Cover up that little shadow. Oh, guys, is that not just fantastic? Okay, I don't want to, again, have too much fish pish because I love how this one is coming out. Very small. Right? You got to keep them tightly together. And we're going horizontally, trapping in all that stuff. Now, let's do our swipey swipes. We're going to have a nice clean, or at least very wiped off fan brush. We have to pull some of that paint away from the edge. So if we've been going down at this slight downward angle, we're just pulling off straight to 3 o'clock. Boom, 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 boom. That's it, literally, right? Oh, I mean, literally the last 3 or 4, because I told you guys I was going to show you the daytime wave when we came back from the commercial break. I'll go get it literally right now. But the last 3 and 4 waves I've done, I've literally said, this is the best wave I've ever done, ever, right after painting it. And then I go do another one, and I'm like, this is literally the best painting, or best wave I've ever done. So if you are looking for maybe a daytime scene, right, maybe one a little bit more affordable, a little smaller. Look at that, though. Oh, look at the wave, like rolling up. Look at... Do you want to know a barometer of how good, or how many times, or just, I mean, look at the water, right? The angle on the wave up here and down here matches on a much smaller, what's up? No, I do not. That is not what that says. How dare you boot that person for life? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that's wild, like that it's that close on a much smaller surface. You know what I mean? Versus a much larger surface. Just shows a barometer of how Josh can scale to fit the size that he is given, right? So, by the way, this is that daytime one, just in case you were interested in it. Blue sky, rolling, crashing up above the horizon with the eye, very much like this guy, just more of a natural coloration. And that is one painting previous to this one. So it's number 2336. So if you want to find that one in the store, you can search 2336 and it will pull up that painting. God, if this one isn't just so gorge to the max. It's gorgeous. That's how pretty that one is, dude. There, over schmion. And, and then again, anytime I go put any fresh paint up there, I gotta pull it back a little bit. Just a little smusheroos there, just to soften it, because it's not water. It's not supposed to be as thick and noticeable as our water lines are, right? It's supposed to be the fish pish, which is much less. Gorgeous. Oh God, it's so, I don't even know. That's how pretty it is. Like, I don't even know. Oh my word. Look at this. Yeah. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, oof, love it. I just can't stop looking at it. What we're gonna do is do all of our sandy specks and our watery spray, and then we're gonna be done. So you guys have to come up with a title. I know our purchaser might already have a title in their brain, right? But you might sway them with whatever your title suggestion would be. So tell us now in the comments, what would you call this painting? Let's say you had just painted it and you were like, you know what? This is my masterpiece of all masterpieces. And I want to call it this, right? Type that into the comments. I'm dipping very vertically into my Petri dish of liquid white, right? Then I tap it against the side of the blade. Then some of the times you have to wipe this guy off because there's too much on there, right? Then I'm going to hold the blade solid and I'm going to drag through it to bend the bristles back. And then, oh God, that hurt my shoulder so bad. Bend them, ow, why am I doing it again? Or, oh, that hurts. Launch them forward, okay? So as we get, you can either start, in your water or down in your sand. I tend to start sometimes in the sand because you're going to get a good judge of how it's going to start to flick off the brush. And if you have too much way up here, you know what I mean? It's just going to look worse. So allow them to get into your backwash area as well. They look like they're going to reflect stars or bubbles or such, right? Nothing out there has to be the same. You don't even have to don't put them in there then. I don't care. You don't want to put them in there? Don't put them in there. I do, because I like the way that they look. You don't want to do it? Don't do it that way, right? Everyone is so different. Now we're going to come back in with our liquid white right up onto the top. And you got to have a little distance in between, because I've seen people come up and hit, boom, right there. You'll have this enormous, very wet, bright spot right in your clouds. So have a little bit of distance, then turn the blade on the side and throw the water the way that it is flowing. We're not coming at it from this way to this way, right? Because that's how we did our sandy specks. We were throwing them from left to right, right? This one, we want to be on this side, tossing them and letting them hit the canvas and stretch out this way, right? Sometimes you need a little bit more. It's all up to you and how much you like it, right? So start typing in some titles. I'll start reading out some chitles. We want them up into the sky. We want it covering over. Bang, all that stuff. You see it? Oh, you can even get up here into your tip top of your sky, right? Some of the stars are allowed to shine through the clouds. Yes, ma'am, sorry. Oh, you were stretching? Yes, me too. Dude, I gotta stretch because at least my tattoo doesn't feel so much like
What about your arm?
burnt skin. That's okay. That's okay. It's much less sore. But my tattoo was feeling very much like sunburned skin, you know what I mean? And that is not fun anytime you do any movement, right? Very cool, guys. So, God, like I said, I was going to call this one Goldeneye even before I started painting it. I was like, this one should be called Goldeneye because I know we've called the other ones that are very similarly colored Golden Tides, Golden Crash, Golden Stuff, right? So I figured, just in my head, that's what I would have called this one. But it's not up to me. It's up to our purchaser for grabbing this one during the live show. And so here are some examples. Oh, What a Night, Golden Sands, Sherbet Shores, Golden Waves of the Moon. Right? I vote Tidal Wave. Do you mean tidal or title? Golden Twilight Dream, Golden Harvest, that's cool. The Light of the Night, Wavy Velvet, Honeymoon Shores on Golden Sands instead of Pond, Topaz Tides, that's a cool one. Traveling Sea, Golden Velvet. Let's see, Tidal does hit differently, I feel you. Midnight Splash, Fiery Beach, Mystic Mood Night, Midnight's Golden Bliss, Moonlight Paradise, Waves of Our Lives instead of Days of Our Lives, obviously. Treasure Wave, Crashing Waves, Moonlight Sonata, The Ocean Wave, How the Night Moves. I like that. That's a cool one. Midnight's Golden Bliss. That's neat too. Fiery Beach. I agree. I like it. Oh, you mean that title. Thank you. I appreciate that. Golden Times. I guess, from DeMarcus over there. Let's see. Healing Water. I like. Life's a Beachin', or Life is Beachin'. That's a cool one too. We've done. Oh, okay. All right. Well, just let us know, purchaser, if you feel like any of those would have swayed your mind. We'll give you like a minute to, send us an email and let us know. If not, then we'll go with their title. What was his title? Sandtown. I mean, you can't beat Sandtown, honestly. Taking the elevator down to Sandtown. And that'll be in the reel. When I pull the reel to do this one, like to make the little short videos and TikToks and stuff, that's definitely going into one of the videos. So that's why I said it, like literally right before I said that, and I was like, that needs to be in the video, immediately start. So I was like, does this look like Sandy Page? It's like reminding myself to think about that in 5 months when I get to this painting in my, Rolodex of tons and tons of videos I need to go through. Trying to remember that. So, excellent. So, yeah, we'll give him like another minute. I've washed that off. I need to wipe off the palette. And then our purchaser, if he doesn't let us know, then I'm just assuming that we're going to go with Sandtown. And if not, then any one of your guys' suggestions would have been fabulous. I had GoldenEye in mind, like I said, when I painted this, and that's what we were promoting it as yesterday. I was like, oh, what if we did one with the golden colors and the stuff? And everyone was like, oh, I can't wait to see it. And so this one just, oof. Right? Gotta come in here and change it was too like sharp, right? That little steps, I didn't like that. There we go. Huh? We got the name? Oh. Excellent. All righty. Sandtown. Dude, I like it. I like it. Now, we're going to, actually, let's put the birds in while it's still up here, and then we'll sign it, and then we'll turn around and sign it. So, you guys, this one literally came out absoluten fantastic. Okay, let's get over here. I'm going to keep the birds distant and small. And like I said, on 3, you got to go caw-caw with me, okay, around the world. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, caw-caw, of course. If you're not making the noise, you're not having as much fun as the rest of us, okay? Throw the old bird signature in. Keep them small and out of the way. Distant enough to just drift away. And then eventually someone will be like, oh, is that Josh's 3 birds in there? That must be his painting. Right there. Gorgeous. Okay, so yes, this one came out fantastic. Calling it Sandtown. And thank you to David. Very much appreciate it. It was David, right? Yeah, either way. In any case, here and there and everywhere, you guys. Okay, what are we flipping this? Oh, these big ones, dude. I'm telling you, they're not the easiest thing to spin around and maneuver when they are wet. That is very sure. There we go. Over here. Boom, boom. Throw the old JK in there. This one was number 2337. That's what I thought. 37. Calling it Sandtown. All right. Boom. Right now, painted on 3/15 of 2026. We're all going to check out PaintWithJosh.com and the PaintWithJosh app. It is not just for grabbing paintings or booking classes. The PaintWithJosh app is used around the world by more than 600 people by allowing them to be notified when we go live, right? That's what most people are using the PaintWithJosh app for, right? You're your app that you normally watch on, like Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, they're not telling you when we're going live, right? So you show up late because you forgot and you didn't get notified. Nobody said nothing, right? So if you want that notification that we're going live, you got to get that Paint with Josh app, right? It's free. It's on both the app stores. You can get it on no matter what phone you have. And it'll send you a push notification that's going to go, hey, we're going live right now. Come watch. And then we're going to start the show. You know what I mean? So you guys got to get that Paint with Josh app. It's well worth it. I'm going to get a little shine underneath in here. I just want a little, like, I'm serious. The sand is so nice that this even hurts my heart to put in right here. Right? I just want a little thing. There, just a little indication that it's a small little bit of a reflection right there of our moon. God, can you do it any better, Josh? I mean, my word, honestly, just another level up. I love these colors too. Okay, so we did blue and purple, then crimson and purple, and then crimson and yellow and purple. What's the next combo color you got, or the color combo? God, I'm so dyslexic. It's not even funny. What's the next color combo, you guys? I'm thinking, sorry? Pink and blue would be cool. I'm thinking yellow and green too, right? Those are both complementary. Alexis, I agree. OMG, so beautiful. I agree. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the follows. I appreciate all you guys. We do this 5 to 10 times a week, sometimes 2 shows per day. Right at 5 o'clock on the West Coast, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then we're off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So put it on your calendar, mark it down, turn on that old Paint with Josh show on those days. Yeah, dude, I love that so much. Okay, so this one came out fantastic. We're gonna spin the wheel of spinniness? Oh yeah, we gotta do the light party and all that stuff too. So I'm all discombobulated over here. Okay, so we'll do the light party first, and then the RGB party, and then the spinny winny wheel. So if you are sensitive to flashing lights, which I have to move this one out of the way. If you're sensitive to flashing lights, right, and crazy stuff, then I would look away for the next, I don't know, for the next 30 to 60 seconds. As soon as we start the light party, you're not going to want to be watching if you are sensitive to that stuff, right? So if you are going to stay and watch the light party with us and give up all liability against Paint with Josh LLC, type in the words "I'm ready" into the comments and then hit send. And once you've hit send, I want you to shut your eyes. Like, shut them. Shut them down. Because the more, get underneath. Oh, see it now. Oh, there we go. The more that or the longer your eyes are shut, the more intense the light party will be. Okay? So hit "I'm ready," shut your eyes, and when we see enough "I'm readies," then we're going to get the light party going. And when I count down and go "light party," then you guys open up your eyes, right? So type it in. "I'm ready," right? Hit send, shut your eyes. And we're going to start it in 3, 2, 1. Hey. Now open your eyes and tell me what's standing out for you the most. Like, what's catching your eye? Is it the moon or the clouds? Maybe the shine of the sand, maybe the watery crashiness. Maybe it's the golden eye of the word. Right? Let me know which one. Let me know what is standing out for you the most. We got the sand, the splash, the moon, the waves, the water, the birds, the clouds. The eye of the wave, you guys. God, can't stop looking. It's like a thunderstorm happening right here in the eye of the wave. It's gorgeous. Woo! Okay, we're gonna bring it down in 3, 2, 1. We're back to normal lighting conditions, right? The fish pish. Thank you, Rupert. So, if you are sensitive to light, you may now look back. It is okay to look back again, right? And what we're going to do now is something that we call the RGB party, meaning we're going to put solid red light and then solid green light and then solid blue light, all at separate times. There's no flashing, so you don't have to worry about it. And all I need you to do is just tell me which one is your favorite out of the 3. We're going to go red in 3, 2, 1, I hope. Red. Oh, yes, it worked on the first go. Look at that. Oh, I'm telling you, if I could paint it, maybe if I just used red, on the black canvas that it would come out that vibrantly red. I'm gonna have to try one day. I'm gonna go green in 1, 2, green. Ooh, look. See, that with like a little bit more yellow tone, that's gonna be what the green and yellow one actually looks like, right? Now we're gonna go blue in 3, 2, 1, blue. Oh, I like it. Oh, which one was your favorite out of the red, green, or blue as we come back to normal lighting condition? Whoops. Get out of the way. Spin this guy over here. Oh, look at that, guys. That is fantastic. Is the painting studio over here, or is it that way? Nobody? Oh, my arm hurts so bad. Okay. Oh, you got to show off a fresh tattoo, at least for like a week or two, right? So we had blue. Has to be blue. It's a hard choice between red and green for me on this one. Green is always gorgeous. Red is fantastic with these colors. It just made everything look like pure red paint, which was really cool. It looks like everybody's on team blue for this one, which made it much more like it actually looks, right? Like if we really put the blue on, right? It's not that much different. Well, I'm going to even spin the light out of the way, right? The blue is not that much different from its actual color. So you guys just liked how it actually looked. Why don't you just say that? Because the green was like, just, oh, that was so cool. So let's spin the wheel for our purchaser. Whatever they land on is a free gift coming back to them for grabbing the painting during the live show. And don't worry, if you land on you lose, we'll spin it again for you. So here we go. Oh, that's the Fish Piss shirt. The Paint with Josh Fish Piss shirt. Oh, I mean, I've got 3 or 4 different, maybe 5 different designs of shirts and stuff. I personally would go with the Fish Piss shirt. This is the Cole's Law shirt. I don't know if anybody remembered this old one. We've got another one like that too. But the Fish Piss shirt is the brand newest. The newest of the new in the store as far as wearable apparel, right? So new, I don't even have one yet. We got to get some Fish Piss shirts and start wearing them on the show for sure. Let's see. One Spin Wonder. Are you painting another after this? So I did a class earlier today. I do want to show you guys how to do that, this kind of a wave on a white canvas. So if you only have white canvas, you'll still be able to do this one. Not this color, of course, but one similar anyway in the white canvas. I'm not sure, though, if anybody would even want to see. This will be like the 4th big crashing wave in a row that are all very similar, just different colored, right? So not sure if anybody would want to see. And if not, you know, even if I don't paint this scene on video, I will eventually, you know what I mean? But that cute little guy, which literally fits nearly perfectly to the bigger canvas painting that we did. It's just incredible. It shows how big this wave is on this canvas, how close we are anyway. But yeah, that guy remembers number 2336 is the smaller one. I called it Crasher's Bay. Painted today earlier in class. So yeah, we'll see. If you have the Paint with Josh app, then you're going to know right when the next show starts. If we do come back and do a next show, having the Paint with Josh app will be beneficial into knowing when that app's going to, or when that show is going to start. I honestly can't wait to see your guys' versions of this painting. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. I don't have many canvases left is the problem as well, right? Like, I've got to go to Michael's probably tomorrow. So I've got a big 24 by 24 inch canvas, but it's not black, it's all white. I've got a couple, or one 16 by 20 white and 2 16 by 20 black. So it's very limited choice to choose from. We'll just have to see. You know, if you've got the Paint with Josh app, then you'll know. If not, then check back in about an hour or so and see if we're live. You know what I mean? What's up? You'll just have to get that app. That's what I'm telling you. So I can't wait, seriously, to see your guys' version of this. Make sure you get a black canvas, turn it sideways, put our, you know, yellowy, crimsony, purpley, yellowy. You got to make sure that our eye is above the horizon in this one. couple things. And if you watch this video from the very beginning, you'll see every step on how we did everything. So beyond that, can't wait to see it. Send it into the Facebook page, or if you use our app or our website and look at the email, you can send it to us through email. Comment on any of the Facebook comments. Everybody who's watching on Facebook, please comment more on all of my reels. You guys have kind of faded off, and there's less and less and less comments. And the less comments, the less people are going to see the video, and the less I'm going to make. I rely on that Facebook income a lot. So if you guys can get over there and comment more, share the Facebook post more, that would really help me, especially with the reels, right? It's not more about the photos, it's more about the reels and having comments on those. So beyond that, if you get the app, you'll know if we come back, and we'll see you guys then if we do. If not, we'll be back tomorrow at the same time. So until we see you guys again next time, take care. The rest of a good day. And blah, blah. Well, that one came out amazing. I want to thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, tapping the screen, commenting, and interacting with me. It's all been fantastic. In the meantime, before we get to our next painting, be sure you check out PaintWithJosh.com, because there's always something else to look at over there. So until I see you guys again next time, take care.